And now it's time for The Catch, which takes you around the Great Lakes to hear from reporters about the issues they're covering. Bite-sized news briefs about the lakes you love.
In Michigan's Upper Peninsula at Fayette Historic State Park, limestone cliffs are home to some of the oldest trees in eastern North America. During a work trip with some colleagues, MLive environment reporter Garrett Ellison recently learned of the ancient white cedars.
We had no idea when we got there that we were going to be stumbling across Michigan's oldest trees. We walked into the visitor center and saw a display that says some of the trees on the cliffs here are believed to be 1,400 years old. And it was one of those like, what? No way. I would know about that.
The trees were first discovered back in the 1990s by a group of scientists led by researcher Doug Larson, who learned that despite the modest size of the trees, they had been growing out of the cliffs for more than 1,000 years.
These trees are not impressive looking, but they are very, very old. And it's because of the environment that they grow in and the unique nature in the way that the tree grows. It has these roots, which are hydraulically separated and unique to different sections of the tree. So they're very, very slow growing, and parts of the tree can die. And, the rest of the tree continues to grow. It survives. And so they can survive in harsh environments, in rock falls and things of that nature.
The age of the cedars was calculated through a scientific technique called dendrochronology, which also reveals centuries of data about the region's climate history, recorded in the width and chemical makeup of the tree's growth rings.
What they're doing is they're core sampling the tree and measuring and estimating it that way. We want to protect these trees. They're amazing natural feature of Michigan.
Amazing as these trees are, they're one of the region's best kept secrets.
Part of the reason that they're not more well known is because they're somewhat inaccessible.
The limestone cliffs at Fayette Historic State Park are closed off to the public. But if you're willing to work for it, you can still glimpse these ancient cliff dwellers by taking a boat or kayak out onto Lake Michigan.
Bring a camera with a long lens and look up. And in the words of Doug Larson, the researcher who I interviewed, said you'll see an ecosystem and a habitat that's been staring out at Lake Michigan for the last 1,000 years.
Thanks for watching. For more on these stories and the Great Lakes in general, visit greatlakesnow.org. When you get there, you can follow us on social media or subscribe to our newsletter to get updates about our work. See you out on the lakes.